You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Dexter. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Dexter news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for Dexter.
Yes, it is AFTERBUZZ TV for Dexter. Thanks for joining us. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving with family and friends. I'm with friends right now. I'm with Kristen Snyder, the psychic of Dexter, and the always honest Spicy Marty.
Yes.
She's bringing truth to the table.
New to the show. My tongue contained tonight.
Boy, oh boy, we've got some gloating to do. We've got some. Well, let's just get into it. We got Deb. Deb's turning over a new leaf. Finally, she is discovering a new inner self.
Do you think that's thanks to the therapist?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, she needed therapy. I can't believe that this is the first time she's getting it after every single one of her companions has died.
Right. Yeah, it took 3 murders?
Yeah.
3,
That sounds about right.
Right, for her to finally go, maybe something's wrong.
Maybe I should see a psychiatrist.
I think, she said, I've had to throw out a pair of shoes that was full of blood. So I think it was her shoes being ruined.
Yeah.
That made it happen.
Yes.
She needs to walk in another man's shoes to see how that is. I loved that she was finally trying out a new Deb, and everybody now is not off guard, but everybody's kind of like, who is this? What is Dexter? Definitely is trying to figure out. I'm a chair. If you need a chair, I don't need a chair. I need a table.
But Deb realizing that Dexter is a chair and he's never going to be the table, that was so important. I mean, that's important for a lot of people to realize that you can't change things. You can't change people in general. You got to recognize them for what they are and recognize that Dexter is a chair.
Right.
He will always be a chair, as much as he
changing.
wants to be a table.
I love how he says to her whenever he goes to Deb and he's like, I'm here if you need me, I'll be your chair.
Yes.
She's like, I don't need a chair, I need a table.
Exactly.
It was great.
I just wish we saw this change 3 episodes ago.
Absolutely.
I really think Debbie having this different direction would have opened those episodes up a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, because go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, because this inner battle that she's having inside. I mean, now she's letting us know how affected she is that her mother passed away and that she was feeling neglected by her father. I mean, that's something that anybody who's a Dexter fan has followed and caught. But we already know that she has this crazy potty mouth attitude, and now she's being more, I guess, lighthearted with her feelings, I guess, more forgiving.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's kind of trying to she's just trying to be a little bit more it seems like she's just trying to be more not so into herself. She's trying to let stuff go.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, they say people who have had such a traumatizing past, they can't see past themselves sometimes. And I feel like Deb has been that way this entire time as lieutenant, and finally she needs to get over it, see past herself, get it out in therapy so that on the job she's not freaking out.
Right. Well, it's a great beat. I'm so glad that
she really is a guarded person. I mean, she faults Dexter for being guarded and not opening up, but she too. I mean, she's a straight jerk. If you pay attention to her character on the show, she's not an emotional woman. She's not your typical character woman.
No.
And so this is the first time that she's been given a platform to actually share her feelings with someone and step outside of her comfort zone, which is her psychiatrist.
But it's really hard for her to share her feelings.
Right.
like it would be for a guy.
Correct. Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
And so she must be having that inner conflict as well. If she's always kind of been the tomboy, she's a lieutenant and, surrounded by guys, she must think it's a sign of weakness to have to share her feelings, and it's just kind of funny if I'm just wondering if her character's kind of equating that to like a feminine trait.
I think that's a good association.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Where she's like, what? Wait a minute. Am I a lieutenant or am I a woman or am I both? And how does that work?
She's not only living in a man's world, but she's working in a man's world as well. And so in that kind of environment, I mean, you kind of have to have just as much balls as the rest of them.
Yeah,
Right.
and so this would be a very
Really now. Do we want to talk about the swearing? I know you brought that up earlier. The swearing
I promise
overload.
I will be less spicy tonight.
that's
Dexter
fine.
could use some spice.
Yeah.
We're there's a cold cough thing floating around, so we could all use some spice.
Right. Okay.
to get our bodies back up. Yeah, you mentioned the swearing.
The swearing.
Ugh.
It's just something that's not working now.
No, I mean before it was like it pulled us in, and it was like, oh my gosh, this girl says anything that's on her mind. She has a potty mouth. It was kind of attractive in the beginning because we thought that she was a bad. Can I say ass? Badass.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
And so we think that she's this like strong, assertive, and now it's like the writers have incorporated every single repulsive curse word that you can think of she uses instead of actual dialogue.
Yeah.
And I almost think that they're giving us what they think that we want, and it's obnoxious now.
I agree. It stands out,
Yeah.
which is really a shame because usually all the scenes there's a really nice flow to them, and you're kind of settled in, and this is going over here, and this is nice. Unfortunately, it does make her sound stupid.
It does because
I'm sorry, I'm not insulting the show or anything, but
No,
it does
it
really
does.
make her character sound like if I were sitting in that room and I was listening to her run a briefing like that, I would really be I would be questioning really why. I think unless there's a beat where they're using it, in a way to say that
they're using
uncomfortable.
it unnecessarily.
I agree. I think they are.
Because they say that people who use people who use curse words continuously like that are not intelligent enough to actually speak proper grammar and
I agree.
Well, I think it's also one more beat that she's trying to be manly. She's trying to be one with the boys. But I'm not sure if our audience is bothered by it because that's sort of like I feel the generation that is watching this sort of speaks that way. So I'm not sure if they have such a problem with it.
She's the only person on the show who curses. Batista, Quinn, nobody talks like
That's really
But I'm
true.
just saying, I don't know that a lot of people are like noticing it because they hear it a lot from their friends. And
it's just, and I don't have a problem with women swearing. I don't, and I don't have a problem with the police swearing. I think they do. It's just in this character, it just doesn't work. There's something about it that as she's delivering lines, it's just like kind of, it's like the one shopping wheel on the car that just is not.
Right, and it's making her one-dimensional.
Yeah, it's just all you're focusing on is that stupid wheel, and,
and
you miss the ramen you need.
Right, you're not listening to the rest of her dialogue because you're just like, did she just say that?
All right, let's get off of her. I'm done.
Sorry,
with
Deb.
it.
You gotta clean up.
Deb, but Deb, I really do love you, though.
But there's plenty going on around her that she's got to try to get on top of.
Do we want to mention Quinn?
I wish
Why
you
is
would get on top of Quinn.
Oh!
I want them to work out.
Why do you like Quinn?
Spicy Marty.
It's not that I like Quinn. It's that I love. And I want Deb to have love. Every guy she falls in love with either gets killed or, accidentally gets murdered or is in a crossfire. I want, her to work out with him.
You know what? Of all the guys that are in that office, sure, why not choose Quinn? He's the best looking guy.
Yeah, he is cute.
And he definitely knows how to have a good time.
He's
not with always the right
awful.
women.
Okay, the woman he just slept with and took pictures of in the car.
He's
Lost his gun.
Oh, you must want my mom.
Right. Haven't you guys been through a breakup before where it's kind of like, do I hang out with this person to get over this other person? And sometimes we make mistakes in order to allow our hearts to heal the wound.
He's made a lot of mistakes, and I am done forgiving Quinn. I mean, come on, just kill him off already.
Well, and I'm trying to figure out why, he's still around. He's not. the character Quinn isn't doing anything except just being a thorn now in Batista's side.
Right.
And there's no story he's moving along.
Exactly. We're just watching his life destruct.
Yeah, and the fact that Batista had to go and get him, and then get him in the car overheats and all that stuff, and go get his gun and all that stuff from the waitress and all that. And then at the end of it, it's like, okay. And then
they get into a fight.
Yeah, and so why? That was
that was
a chunk of the show. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so where are you going to go with that? What's going to happen? Why are we spending time here?
I think Quinn is also upset because Batista punched him in the face a couple episodes ago, and they never sort of talked about that.
That's very true. That's a great point.
So if somebody punches you in the face, I mean, that's obviously going to create...
There's still some animosity, tension there. See, I thought the writers were just trying to do a recap for anybody who hadn't caught up on Dexter. Because he was like, and then there's this, and then there's that. Like,
I mean, that's a great way to look at it.
every single thing that's wrong with Batista going on. So it's like, oh, maybe those are for Batista fans that haven't been able to catch up on the show. So,
that's a great point, Spicy Marty.
I don't know. But
well, they got it.
Right, because they ended in a fight where a lady screams out, hey, I'm going to call the cops.
Right.
So that was that aha laugh moment that we were supposed to laugh at.
Right.
Right.
And we did. We got a chuckle out of it.
I was tickled.
So that was why he was promoting that, to kind of put a dot on that previous...
Right. I think that you're right about that point.
I think you're also right. I mean, for viewers... Let's spell it out for them what's going on in Batista's life. Because honestly, Batista has been a little angry in the way that he is lately. And they haven't really talked to him. He needs a therapist. We need him to go in with Deb to see the therapist so that we can see what's going on in there.
That would end well.
That's very true. Because last season was more about Batista. Not so much this season. Last season he had the relationship with the captain, and now he's kind of he doesn't really have his own storyline going on. So it's just his anger. They're making his anger the issue and everything.
Well, I wonder what they're setting up, because on the heels of that, Batista's sister,
he's gonna kill Jamie.
Is now.
I just had an epiphany.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean they're setting, but they're setting something up. They're setting something up. They've got this over here with Batista and Quinn, and then Batista's sister Jamie is now hooking up with Lewis, who is more than what he seems.
Right.
I mean, we find out he bought the prosthetic arm.
Right. So he's kind of.
Or did he? Or did he come? Did he get it through foul means? We know that the blonde had it.
Right.
And we've not seen.
eBay.
We've not seen the blonde since.
Because
so how did he
got
get
fired?
Right.
But he was auctioning on eBay for the arm. Obviously,
he was.
That's what we're assuming, that he was the one who auctioned on eBay for the arm.
But we're only getting information from him. So I don't know how he got that.
Right,
arm.
We really don't know how he got the arm.
There may be a blonde in his freezer.
But it's missing. It's missing from evidence. We're assuming that's the arm that the blonde was trying to.
And he said it's gone. You can't get it back. But the good news is, I wiped all the trace, so no one knows it came out of the department.
Right, he did say that.
So if a foul happened, they can't follow that trail that they had. Right.
So what do you guys think of Lewis? What is his deal?
He's kind of weird. He's a weirdo. They're playing him
got
like a genius
money.
weirdo.
Yeah, there's something going on. He's going to turn out bad. I think Jamie's going to end up. Oh no, that's a prediction. I wonder if Jamie will end up in a bad situation and cause Batista to
have to save her.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if this was the last season, I know there's supposed to be another one, but if they were making this the last season, which apparently it's not, they could start doing stuff like that. I mean, there's only 3 episodes left, so obviously I think they are still considering the next season. I think they announced it, but it would make a lot more sense for them to start killing off characters.
Right, because she was a random addition anyways.
Quinn,
I was like, where did his sister come from?
It could be an opportunity to knock Quinn off. If, they always have the one guy that finds out and you think, oh, everyone's saved, but the guy gets killed. So, it's just interesting about the pacing, because now they're going to have to keep Travis alive, I'm assuming, for the finale.
Yeah, how is that going to work?
Well,
I mean, we can wait to get to that point, but
so
there's 2 tableaus left.
I'm not quite sure, where the Jamie Lewis thing, because I think we can all assume that's not going to end well. This is not a storybook romance.
Right.
I mean, I can't believe that she had sex with him after that apology or whatever. I mean, this was the first time.
I mean, he admitted to being scared of her brother. Wouldn't that turn you on? Wouldn't you have to ravish him right then and
no,
there?
Wait a minute.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely
that ruined my sarcastic.
It was the honesty. It was the
Oh,
honesty.
the honesty.
The honesty.
He opened his heart.
Okay.
And it melted her.
He-
And
Yeah,
evidently-
Masuka gave him that advice.
It evidently melted most of her clothing too, because
What-
next time we see him,
when it comes to matters of the heart, you gotta follow your DICK.
I like that you spelled that out.
That's whose advice are you following again? Remember whose advice you're following.
yeah.
He did, and it worked. So
It
I
was,
don't know.
you know,
It
it
did, it
was a
got
little
the
bit of a
panties
jump, but you know, I don't know. Maybe she was really impressed with the surroundings and the.
I really
trappings
liked
of
his
wealth,
apartment.
His apartment was fly.
and
But he's an intern. Like, how is he paying for
no,
this?
he did
The video games.
video games.
Yeah.
Did he actually sell it?
Oh yeah.
He
She
said-
said,
but he
"Where did
said
you get
that.
all this stuff?" And she said, "Oh, people love their video
Right.
games." So he's a developer.
I didn't know that
which
he's
is-
actually sold anything.
Well, you know, you think about it. So he's developing a video game about the precinct and about Dexter and stuff like that because he's already shown her a little bit of it. Now, what if he has even more information? So he's able to release a really edgy video game of, you know, crimes
What's
that
going
maybe they
on, yeah.
haven't yet figured out.
And his fascination with Dexter is kind of weird. His obsession with
Well,
Dexter. It makes you think that he
yeah.
only likes Jamie because she's babysitting for Dexter. You know, that's how he
But that
approached her at the party.
fascination is going to tie into whatever he's creating in this video
Yeah,
game.
in the
I think
video
this
game.
video game is going to start coming up
more
a
than
little
we
bit
think.
more.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a lot more than they're letting on.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be some sort of nefarious something
Do you
odd.
think that the video game will actually come out after this season?
Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, that would be awesome. I would play it.
Dexter the
I
video
would.
game.
I mean,
I
I
would
think a
only
lot
kill
of
bad
people would
people,
buy
though.
it. A lot of people would buy it, so they should definitely do that.
I'd put it
Oh.
on my Xbox for sure.
It might be a free download. Can't you get like free downloads now on Xbox? I have to ask my son.
I don't know.
He knows all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's young. I just figured out how to use the push button phone. I was on rotary all this time.
What?
Yeah. I'm a little behind the curve.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
She's like,
That's
what is
how
that?
behind the curve. I've
Is there
been.
anybody else in
Not
the
really.
in the crew?
Oh,
what about
wait a minute.
LaGuerta?
Yeah, LaGuerta
And
and
Matthews.
and Matthews. So that was
Police
the
chief.
guy. That was the guy in the room.
What was he doing? Just like
He was
just
trying to
hired
revive the hooker.
Yeah. Well,
So he must have slept with her.
oh yeah. And then he came back, I guess, from getting a Big Mac or something, and she was
overdosed.
on the floor, and it wasn't after he did the CPR that he saw the drugs.
That's why they're trying to close the case.
Yeah. Now, so you're chief of police.
Mm-hmm.
You come back. There's an unconscious hooker on the floor.
We don't know how she got there.
Don't know how she got there, and it's not your, you know, your whatever you did.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably safe enough because the body is still in the room that you rented, right? So there's nothing on the hotel desk saying that you were there. So wouldn't you just go, okay? You close the door. Hope you're all right, honey. And then just, I mean, you know,
Right,
they
if
were
you
saying,
weren't- yeah.
yeah, they're saying I did everything I could. So they're trying to make him, you know, like a nice guy and everything. And oh, bummer.
But
you
he's
know,
not. He's really a sleazeball.
Pretty much.
Right,
yeah.
'cause that's
And
how
LaGuerta is
LaGuerta
trying to
got her
cover him.
position.
Right.
They're crooked. She's
Yeah.
crooked every season as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's another
So,
one.
so.
But I was glad that
that's-
Deb stepped up and finally told her, you know what, I'm reopening this case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
that
Deb
was-
has been acting outside of her character with LaGuerta.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Deb is a very strong, assertive woman, but she's been getting punked by LaGuerta left and right. So it's
Right.
about time that she stood up for the police station and actually opened up the case.
I really liked how they did that in the elevator too, because you could see that she was really nervous.
Right.
that she
They're
was-
always in the elevator.
Yeah.
Every episode.
They're in the elevator.
Why?
Well,
Why is that their meeting
they're in a
point?
box.
Because in an elevator, yeah, you're
It's
literally
symbolic.
in a box. It's symbolic. There's nowhere to go. You have to confront the other person. You can't like, you know, move off to the other side of the room or take a phone call. You're just stuck there. So, you know, cinematically, it's always a nice sort of
And
setup.
if you think about it, that's the most uncomfortable place to hold a conversation. You
Yeah.
don't quite know what to say to people on the elevator.
Right.
So it's always
I
a
mean,
little
I get
awkward
it, but I'm
place.
not sure why they keep doing, like, episode after episode. That's just where they meet.
Maybe it's like one of the few private places. But she seemed really nervous. She seemed like, you
Yeah.
know, Deb, the character was, this is really scary for me, but damn it, you know, it's time
I
for me
believed
to.
her acting in that moment.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did too. I thought it was
absolutely.
well done. And I don't think she
You saw
swore.
the fear in her eyes.
And I don't think she
She
swore.
did not curse.
Right.
She
And
did not.
Writers.
We noticed
One of
these
the best
things.
scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe she just doesn't do it well. people that don't swear well are really hard to listen to.
I didn't know there was a right way to swear.
There
Jack
is.
Nicholson.
I'm a bad swearer.
Jack
I don't sound good
Nicholson
when I
can
swear,
give
but I
you
still do
a master's degree in swearing. He's very good at it.
All right.
There's a style and a feel.
There is.
and
You guys
can't
will have to
force
school
it.
me
Gotta
in
bend
this
down
later.
tongue.
I'm sure we will.
Are we ready for the big
Okay.
dogs?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Who wants to crow first? All right, we have to hand it to Kristen.
Applause.
Congratulations.
Jesse.
A round of applause, please.
Five episodes ago.
You predicted.
Easily. She said, "You know what I think? I think
Gellar and
Gellar's
Travis
dead.
is one of the
Yeah,
same.
I think Gellar.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank
And ever
you.
since then, we've been going back and forth. I'm like, I don't know. And
Now
then,
you guys are good.
ever
'cause I
since
wouldn't
that,
have guessed that.
but and we'd see the newspaper and stuff. But I got you on this one. There's a flaw. Travis didn't have time to set up Casey's big
Professor
tableau.
Casey.
Professor Casey. Yeah, because he ran and then he got Dexter out of the elevator, and then they left, and then suddenly there's this whole big layout. So
He did so what he probably did, he just ran upstairs, stabbed him, put him in a closet or something because there were like drips of blood on the
Right.
floor. So he obviously killed him, put him somewhere.
right,
I don't know why Dexter didn't look for him.
right.
At all.
Right, that's not like Dexter.
No, exactly.
Follow the blood.
Yeah, why didn't he follow the blood? There's a
Right.
mistake,
Go
writers.
back to the hotel.
Yeah,
That
but
doesn't-
so they go back to the hotel. Well, I guess he thinks that
maybe he's
Gellar
kidnapped.
has him.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming.
Exactly.
He
must
does
be
say he's
kidnapped.
probably still, or is he alive? And Dexter says, I don't know, or whatever. He doesn't assume he's dead.
If he is, he's still breathing. Let's try to
That's
get him.
why he doesn't follow blood, because Dexter assumes that it's Gellar that took him.
Right.
So that's why they
So
leave
you're
right
thinking
away.
that he killed him maybe in advance and then brought Dexter back to the
Yeah,
location,
I think
the
he
school?
killed him and he hid him
Okay.
in the closet or whatever. Got Dexter out of there, and then Dexter kind of leaves Travis in the hotel and is like, keep messaging Gellar and tell him you're gonna come,
Right.
and then let me know in the morning when you get a response. Let me know first thing in the morning.
Oh.
So he left Travis. Travis had plenty of time to go back to the school and
Go get the body.
hang
So
up
he
the
went,
body.
So he went back and set up the tableau when they were all done.
Exactly.
Ah, there you go.
And then in his
There you go.
alter ego state, wrote with the blood on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, did you guys notice that when Travis woke up right before he found the writing on his own wall, did you notice that he woke up and was sort of like,
Right,
like
yeah.
he woke up
I
like,
thought he was scared of.
but he didn't
Edward-
know that
Edward
that
James
was,
almost.
yeah, but he didn't know that that was there
No, he
yet.
woke up with the start. Yeah, as if he was having a
And-
nightmare or something.
As if he was having a nightmare, or as if he was like waking up from a coma or had
Right.
blacked out
Right,
and
right.
suddenly doesn't know what's going on. So
Right.
once again, I think he was blacked out, wrote himself a message in
Right.
blood.
Okay, so Gellar took over, went back, finished the job. So if that's the case, then even if Dexter said we got to find him, Travis may not have even known where he was, but the professor who was living in Travis would know.
Right.
So all right, well that explains that.
His constant battle with
But
it.
I do agree that it seemed kind of odd that Dexter didn't say where would he go, where would he keep him. You know the professor.
Right.
Where's he going to keep the body? Where did you keep the other bodies? You know,
Right,
he kind of
he's
he
not
didn't really push
interrogating
it too
Well,
much.
Dexter knew the church, so I'm not even sure
Right.
he knew about the church. So I'm not even sure why they didn't go there.
Right.
To
In
go
the first
find
place.
him. Yeah.
In the first place, go there. But they did afterwards, the next day.
Right. And that was the big discovery. So,
So then he tied
the
himself
lot
up in the
two
chains.
or
Yeah.
two lot-
Okay.
Yeah, because every time we would see something, you know how the professor would suddenly show up when he was at his sister's
And I thought
house,
that was so weird.
or the picture would show up on the newspaper rack.
Okay.
And the professor's, standing right next to Travis, but nobody seemed concerned that, hey, dude, that's you, and no one was recognizing him and that sort of thing. So,
Got it.
no one was ever saying, because that was the other thing. I said, well, if he's dead, they would know that. And you were saying, well, he doesn't have to be dead. He just doesn't have to be there.
Right.
So that explains the body in the freezer. Nobody knew where he was if he was not alive or dead.
He was literally underground. Dexter said at one point he wanted Travis to get the second chance at life that he didn't have.
Yeah.
So
And
so
then-
what second chance does Dexter want, though? Because he said he wanted him to have a second chance that he doesn't
Well,
get to
Dexter
have.
wants to be a better dad
Right.
for his kid, for Harrison.
So how does he not have a second chance?
Who's that? Dexter?
Dexter.
Wait,
He
I-
says that he wants to give Travis
I-
a second chance that he doesn't have.
Yeah, he did say that, and I was thinking about that. I think my take on it is, if he can release Travis of his dark passenger.
Right.
Even though when he said that, his dark passenger was actually an external force. If he could release that, then I think Dexter's thinking that there's hope for me.
Right. I completely agree with that.
Right. I think that's going to change when he realizes
And
Travis's dark passenger is
Well, he did
kind of
at
the
the
same
end
guy.
of
The
the
constant biblical reference to this as well, with the second chance and that God forgives. And so he's thinking that exactly, if he can save him, there's hope for him. And what's the brother's name? Mos Def, who passed away, who was killed.
Oh,
Brother Sam.
Brother Sam.
Mos Def, yeah.
He keeps trying to say, well, Brother Sam, and that's why his father confronted him. Is this really about Brother Sam, or is this about you?
Right. Yeah. And the dad conversations, this one, were a little more, not quite as introspective.
I zoned out.
Oh, did you? Yeah, he seemed to be a little more confrontational. The dad. Usually the questions are what you would be asking yourself anyway. This time, the dad seemed to be directing him a little bit more, and Dexter was kind of. This is one of the first times that I remember seeing him kind of lashing out and blaming
his father,
blaming his dad. And I always thought, as a dad, that first of all, a horrible situation to be in.
Yeah.
But at least the dad said, "Look, this is who you are.
Right.
Let's use these skill sets."
If Dexter wanted to be a pianist, he would have supported that. He so happy that he was a cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
Support your kids.
Absolutely.
Put him in the right direction.
It's going to be a weird take him to work day, but it's what my. Okay. But yeah, so it was kind of like, well, I don't know, Dexter. I think you'd be a little bit hard on your dad. He may not have been perfect, but look what he had to work with.
Right, exactly.
So
you were killing cats and animals left and right. I think you got to do something with you.
You got to, yeah. So I thought that was kind of an interesting spin that they used this time with the dad.
Yeah, and Dexter said at one point, "I'm going to help separate Travis from his dark passenger."
Right.
So you looked at me and you were like, they're one and the same.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
You guys caught that. I was like, I really just thought he was another person.
No, like I said,
you guys are good.
We've just been looking forward for 5 episodes, back and forth.
And Travis said that Gellar, when he thanks Dexter for getting the chains off him, and he said he might have killed me. Gellar might have killed me.
Right.
So if Dexter now doesn't take control of the situation and take control of Travis, I think that Travis is going to end up killing himself, thinking that Gellar's killing him.
Well, I think at this point now, Travis is just going to say, because Travis knows he found Dexter. So, I mean, Travis knows Dexter found Gellar. So I think at this point, he still thinks he's alive. I think he's just going to let him take over. I think we're just going to see Gellar unleashed in Travis.
Unleashed. Yeah. Right, correct. I completely agree with that.
So what do you think? I mean, I'm trying not to go into predictions,
Right.
but we saw Travis with the knife. He picks up the knife.
Yeah.
And then he's looking down at Dexter in the basement. We know Dexter's going to be fine.
We saw the next week previews.
Yeah. But next week it looked like that Dexter was sort of like behind bars or something.
Yeah, I think he's still trapped in the church somewhere. And Batista and Deb find their way to the church because they're at the crime scene.
Go.
So
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't know. We're just going to crow that we called it.
We have 3 more episodes left.
Episodes ago.
Yeah. Go back and watch.
Yeah. Just keep watching. And, I think Colin Hanks is doing a really, really good job of playing this guy. He's just kind of like this pathetic, wormy sort of character that, you're just... But there's this underlying energy, so it'll be interesting to see him get a chance to unleash some of that and just be
Thus far, I have not liked him at all. So I want that rage to come out. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm like, what are you doing? And I felt like his alter ego was just as, I felt like both of them together. Because if you really think about the previous seasons, we've seen some horrible, I mean, insane serial killers. And they've kind of been, you know, very, not softer of the serial killers that Dexter has had to murder, but they've been a little bit lighter, not as evil, not as vindictive to me. I mean, mind you, his religious killings were pretty extreme, but as far as their characters were concerned, they didn't really have big personalities. So I'm waiting for that evilness to be unleashed. Yeah,
I'm excited about that too. And at one point we see Gellar say to Travis, Gellar, he says, "You killed me, Travis." So that's
there like
in
a little
like
blood on his chest and that.
Yeah. So how do we think that came to happen? Travis killing Gellar.
Well, I think it literally did happen.
Yeah, he turned on his master.
Yeah.
He probably pulled him in, said that they were the two chosen ones. The what did he call them? The two viewers.
Two witnesses.
Two witnesses, yeah. And he probably no longer liked the instruction that he was giving and decided he's going to take matters into his own hands.
So you think at one point they were working together?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think so, and something happened.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No way.
Wow.
I think from the start this was all Travis.
His obsession.
The start,
You mean he got all the professor's information and his diaries and books and everything, and just kind
become obsessed, and I think
channeled
he killed him. I think he killed him way before any of this happened. I don't think they were working together at any point in time, and I think this was all Travis from the beginning.
Well, I agree that since we've been involved in this, that Gellar's been dead, but previous to that, I'm going to think that they were actually working together.
He was a student of his at one point.
I don't. I know.
But as far as the whole,
they weren't together in the killing sprees.
As far as the whole end of days and all of that.
So do you still think it was Gellar's idea to begin with?
Is that the question?
Yes. Or do you think it was Travis's idea to start
I don't know.
all this?
Now it really may be. You may be right. Now it may be just Travis who just went off the deep end and said, "Look, if you're going to do this, let's do this. If not, get out of my way."
Maybe it was the Gellar and Travis combo, and Gellar's teaching Travis everything about the Bible and what they're supposed to be doing. But then Travis wants to actually murder and find the victims and use them as sacrifices. And maybe Gellar was like, absolutely not. We're not going to go there. And then he killed him. It could have been like that.
Right.
I think that Travis had been following Professor Gellar's blog for some time and probably was like, probably confronted him at some point and was like, when are we going to act on this?
Right.
And Gellar was probably like,
I'm feeling you. I'm feeling your storyline.
I'm not acting on this.
Right. It's just
Do you think we're going to get to see that at some point? Do you think that's going to be one of the episodes?
They're going to tell us that.
They got 3 more episodes.
I think they're going to
they
tell
gotta
us
fill it with something.
What their relationship was.
I hope so.
That works for me. Or
I like that. I like that.
So do you suppose?
That's juicy.
Do you suppose those books are really?
I'm gonna write the next episode.
There you go.
I mean,
you might as well. You're ahead of it anyway.
Is it too late for a rewrite?
Do you think the books are really Gellar's?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, because they came from the girl that worked with him. Mm-hmm. And again, it's did she ever say I don't know whatever happened to him?
He she said she hadn't talked to him.
Okay, he just fell off the face. Well, he was fired, so after that, I guess nobody really cared.
Right.
Well, what else? You guys got anything else? Anything that stuck out? Anything?
Touch on?
I think we covered it all. I just have a lot of predictions left.
Yeah. We can spend some time there.
We can spend some time there.
Well, let's throw to a commercial, and then we'll come back with predictions.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after-shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
But I toast.
Oh, sorry, we were reminiscing about
Recapping our
Dokes
old
in
seasons.
season 1 and how he came to such an explosive end. Hey, real quick, I always love seeing the opening because
I
there's
do
all
too.
these different ways you can kill people as he's getting ready for his day. You can knife him. You can, you know, with
I
the
love
string.
the floss.
And
I
by the
love
way,
the floss.
when the floss and then he pulls it, the next shot is the neck.
Right.
He cuts himself shaving, and then when he's pulling the thing over, like he's suffocating
Right,
people.
exactly.
They're kind of like, you know, this is all the ways that serial killers work. I think it's very
That's
good.
very creative.
And the music's really good.
Yeah, I love the orange. I always wanted to know. I was trying to figure out in the beginning what fruit that was.
It's a blood orange.
blood orange.
think
It
so.
looks delicious.
Yeah,
We
I
should
always.
bring some next time.
Can we?
There we go.
I want to
Yes.
taste
For the
that.
finale. For the finale, we'll just make a Dexter
I'm gonna
breakfast.
cut it and let the blood orange
Everything from
squeeze out.
the beginning, we're gonna bring in right here.
I just want one of those ultra slow motion bean churner things.
We can bring that. We can bring that.
Ultra slow motion.
Are we gonna get into predictions?
Was there? You guys were talking about something. Was there?
Oh,
anything?
I was talking about the blood falling on everybody's heads.
Oh yeah.
That was absolutely
Blood and
mortifying.
guts.
Like, yeah, blood and guts. And you had asked, was it organs?
Yeah.
Organs
I
falling on
think we
top of
saw
their
some
heads.
organs.
So you know, a few intestines thrown
I
in
mean,
there.
he's pretty he's pretty vicious in that sense. We don't actually get to see him do the acts,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, our imaginations can run pretty wild. So he's actually going in there like scooping blood and guts out of him and letting him fall on top.
Pulling a carry on everybody.
I mean, his murders are very intricate.
Well planned. he was. He
I
learned from
like how
master.
it's sort of a game for the detectives to like
Yeah.
do the tripwire, and then this is
Yeah,
the second
because
time we've
somebody
seen
said,
that.
you know, I've already checked for tripwires. We're good. It's like,
Nope.
didn't check quote.
Didn't think so.
All right, sorry, Jesse. We stepped on that one.
Okay, sorry, had to bring that up.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I know my prediction.
Kristen. Oh, you got
Oh no,
some?
go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
no, you
no,
go.
it just another thing just hit me. You know, it just
Go.
randomly happens being in this room with you guys. But my prediction, because I'm so like in love with Deb, she's my favorite, even though she has a potty mouth right now this season, more than usual. Is her and Quinn. My prediction is that with this therapy that she's getting, she's going to find herself and be able to love him, and he's going to, of course, fall back in love with her, and they're going to be able to be together.
You want her
Right-
to love this guy.
Right before he hits
Yeah.
a telephone pole in his
Yeah,
car.
exactly. You want her to fall in love with him. I want him dead.
Like a Desperate Housewives
This
ending right
is-
there.
This is going to be an
I want
interesting
them to
dynamic.
be in love because I think that she's gonna find herself with her therapist.
But why
the
with
reason
him?
she can't admit to
Why
being
with
in
him?
love with him is because of all this baggage that she has in that brain of hers.
Or because
You think
he's
that's
not
why he's
worth
keeping him
her
alive?
time.
yeah,
Really?
they're
You
saving.
think that's
they're
why they're
saving
keeping
his
him
soul
around?
for Deb. Yeah,
Oh,
this will be
okay.
the one guy that she gets.
I think you're the only one that wants her with Quinn.
I
Everybody
mean, nobody else will
Quinn
take her.
does.
Yeah,
Well,
I
she is
want him
pretty messed
killed.
up. She, you know, you're
Oh,
talking
she's
damaged goods
jacked
here.
up.
Yeah,
she's just
she's-
as bad as Dexter.
Yeah, but
She's
you know,
a cold-blooded killer too. She's just legally allowed to.
First of all, there's no way I'd ever want to work with Quinn because I wouldn't trust that, you know, he's got his mind on the job
Right.
when it has to be.
Yeah.
So, and again, I hope there's something they got coming for this guy because seriously.
Do you want him dead, or do you want him to
you know,
fall
here,
in love
honestly,
with
at this
Deb?
point, I just want to know why I keep watching him.
You want him
Seriously,
of those
give me a
characters you wanna
reason.
kill
Yeah,
off.
give me a reason why he's
For
still
Deb,
around.
he's gonna be Deb's savior, saving her from herself.
But they like hit that 2 episodes ago at her party, and
Yeah,
you
they
know
already
she
tried
couldn't
it.
say
Well, that was the
she
opportunity
couldn't tell him,
for her to tell him, but she couldn't.
but she couldn't
But she
because
had
was
had enough
broken.
therapy by that
Right.
point.
So
No, she doesn't.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
no.
What's
Okay.
your prediction? You say you've got like 40 hours of predictions. Here.
Yeah. Well,
let's hear these.
Quinn's
You're pretty
going
good
down
on
the
yours.
drain.
Quinn's going down again.
What do you guys think's gonna happen to Travis? How's that gonna end up?
Well, this is-
Dexter going to get out of there? And I mean, they can't kill him yet. They still have
No,
3
no,
more
they can't.
episodes.
And this was also the one where, you know, he had the killer, you know, in front of him and let him go.
Yeah.
So
He's like,
I made him
all
the
those
killer.
people that
Yeah.
died, you know, he could have prevented it.
Right.
But this is going to make Dexter question his own senses, his own faith. I think it's going to make question, like, now it just has completely, I think, made his claims of killing the passenger, like, it's not legitimate anymore. Because,
no, it isn't.
Yeah.
Plus, he's got to question the code.
Right.
Because, the code is, in a way, following the code, a lot of people died.
You're right, exactly.
No matter
Sorry, Brother
what,
Sam.
I don't
It's not
think
happening.
that Dexter's going to be the one to kill Travis.
Oh.
I do not think that.
He's going to be in the car with Quinn when he drives it off the cliff.
Hopefully.
Well, that's interesting.
see killing
Okay.
him?
We'll
So
pull a Thelma and
You think he's
Louise.
going to kill himself, you said?
Put him in Batista's car and send him over the
All
canyon.
of them, you just want to kill
which
all the
Batista's car
characters.
might just make it
blow 'em
right
all
to the
up.
cliff and then stall.
That's true.
Well, who do you think's going to do it?
Who's going to kill Travis?
Yeah.
I think Travis is going to kill Travis.
Really?
But that's
You're
not
to go out
juicy.
in a blaze of glory?
I don't want... Suicide?
I think it's going to be a massacre suicide. The last tableau is going to be Travis and some stage
Laid out on a crucifix or something
Yeah.
again.
It's
Oh,
predictions. You got to go with, what you're thinking. Okay. I think it's going to get ugly. I think once Travis decides that, there's no reason to try to be nice anymore, yeah, it's going to get ugly.
I'm excited. I'm actually excited for next week.
Me too.
I am, because you guys, I did not see that ending coming. I mean, you guys are smarter than me, because I'm this entire time thinking that this is a separate person. Travis and Gellar are two completely different people. But you guys knew that. You guys saw that. I'm kind of disappointed
Kristen
in
saw
myself. Shame on me for not catching that.
Well, we had a call yesterday. I asked her about it. She's like, I don't know.
I feel better, caller.
Yeah.
I feel better out there now that you feel me.
And I don't know. Have you checked the blogs or anything on this to see if anybody else is thinking about that?
I haven't really, but I think a couple people have.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean, they were kind of pimping it the whole time. If it
That's
came
true.
into
I
your
hope
mind
other
and you were
people
looking
think
for
about
it,
it. Now I'm seeing it on.
yeah,
like,
if you go back and
oh.
look at stuff, you can see, all of that. So, where this is, speaking of pimping, this is where you guys can tell people where to find you. Spicy Madi.
Follow me on Twitter at spicy_Madi. SPICY_MARI.
MARI. Kristen.
I have a blog called Cinematic Escape, and if you just Google Cinematic Escape, it will come up, and it's at blogspot.com.
Is that CINI or E?
CINEMA, Cinema Escape.
I need an escape.
Cinematic.
I'll be on there
Cinematic
tonight.
Escape.
Yes, Google that, or you can go to kristensnyder.blogspot.com. But Googling's always easier.
Google her, baby.
Yeah.
And you can find me at Home Depot in Van Nuys. Probably in the either tool or
I
paint
knew I
department.
met you before.
Yeah. I'm the guy just staring at a paint, forgetting what color I need.
You do look like a Home Depot guy.
Steve is directing you to find his physical self.
Yeah. Because, I could probably answer questions about interior versus exterior. So until next week, when we find out what kind of crazy is going to happen with Dexter, thanks for being with us. And for
Thanks,
Spicy Madi and Kristen
Huge
Snyder,
Dexter
I'm
fan.
Steve Bottomley. We'll see you next week for the Dexter AfterBuzz.
Call us.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.